Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In the last part, we stopped at the first kiss of the hot girl Akami and Sidao. In this part, stay with me to see if there are any more kisses in the video. The next morning, it was Sidao's turn to be on morning duty at school, so he had to leave early. Akami ran out to say goodbye and took the opportunity to straighten his tie. He was so happy that he accidentally stared at Akami's cute chest, almost got choked by the tie, but was compensated with a love-filled hug. If he were to die from this love, he would die content. After that hug, he went straight to class. As soon as he opened the door, he saw the goddess wiping the board. It turns out that Mei was busy today and had asked Sayori to replace her. Today is the best day of Sidao's life, but how could he know the truth that Mei had voluntarily given Sayori the morning duty? Mei knew that her best friend liked Sidao but was too shy to confess, so she made an effort to set them up. At that time, Akami was having lunch with a friend when she suddenly sneezed. School had ended, so Sidao and the goddess Sayori were joyfully cleaning up the classroom for their morning duty and then headed home. This time, Sayori took the initiative to converse with Sidao more than before. At that moment, Akami happened to be looking for Sidao, so she went to the classroom and witnessed this heartbreaking scene. She could only sadly walk away, leaving space for the couple to express their feelings for each other. Sayori told him to close his eyes and leaned in. He could tell that a kiss was about to happen, so he puckered up. When they were almost there, Sayori playfully slapped him, causing him great pain. It turned out she was too embarrassed to take another step forward. At this rate, it would be Lunar New Year before this couple got together, haha. In the evening, Sidao went out to the balcony to get some air and ponder how to confess to the goddess Sayori. At that time, Akami brought him a hot glass of milk to help him sleep, and took the opportunity to lighten the mood. Sidao started talking about Minami, which really annoyed her. Akami insisted that he call her by her first name immediately. It was strange how he could call the goddess by her name, but referred to his own wife by her last name. Akagi's provocations this time had no effect on Sidao. She started talking about how wonderful it was to have Sidao around during her lonely times, and so on. Eventually, he had to call his wife by her name, or else he would be punished. Finally, Sidao called Akami by her name, which made her so happy she wanted to hear it again. She slipped up and admitted that she liked Sidao. Feeling embarrassed, Akami ran back to her room immediately. Now that she had fallen in love, she wondered what to do. The next morning, the teacher announced that the upcoming final exam would be assessed based on couples, meaning both individuals had to score high. If one failed, it was almost certain the other would too. Sidao immediately thought of the subjects he was extremely weak in, and worried that he would adversely affect Akami. So, when school ended, he asked her to go home with him to study. However, she kept teasing him. After a while, he realized that she was also poor in her studies and didn't make any effort. Haha.
As her husband Sidao insisted that Akami immediately go home to study. Seeing his determination, she reluctantly accepted. Once they got home, Akami changed into something excessively provocative, making it impossible for Sidao to concentrate on studying even a single lesson. Akami suggested taking a break, then began to seduce him, but Sidao chose reason over desire. They continued studying until late in the evening. When they were finally done with the lesson, Akami started to play her games again. This time, she was 10 times bolder than usual. Sidao tried his best to restrain his desires, but they were too strong, and he admitted defeat. He was about to lose his self-control and make a move on Akami right then, but a nosebleed started and his opportunity evaporated.
The next morning was the day to receive the final exam results. For some reason, Akami started calling Sidao by his last name, not his first name as usual, even though they still behaved as a couple. This way of addressing him made him feel uncomfortable. When the break came, Sidao took out his phone to Google what to do when your girlfriend suddenly starts calling you by your last name. Feeling upset because of his future wife's anger, both of them noticed Mei up ahead, rejecting a first-year boy's pursuit. According to Kamo's words, Mei is extremely popular at school and loved by many boys. Despite their gossip, his unhappiness due to Akami's situation never completely faded from his mind. Feeling like he couldn't bear it anymore, he decided to do something. When he returned home and was about to take a bath, Akami ran in to announce that she ranked 8th in the exam results. She was so happy that she hugged him, even drying his hair after his bath. However, while doing all these intimate things, Akami still addressed him formally, which made him extremely unhappy. So she kept calling her name until Akami agreed to say, Sidao. Taking advantage of the momentum, Sidao continued to call her name incessantly, making her happy. Leaning on him, she stated that from now on, he should not call her by her last name, but always use her intimate first name. The next morning, Mei checked her phone and discovered that the couple had already reached the 8th stage, while her friend Sayori was still stuck at the starting point. She immediately rushed to tell Sayori that she needed to be more proactive, or she would lose her boyfriend. While she was speaking, Sayori was hit in the face with a ball and fainted. But luckily, this provided an excuse for Mei to approach Sidao and ask him to visit Sayori immediately. Even though Sayori was in pain, she still managed to make herself look beautiful in anticipation of Sidao's visit. Upon seeing the food that Minami brought for her, Sidao suddenly felt redundant. However, Sayori expressed her desire to experience being his wife once. After saying this, she started feeling shy as she is introverted and has trouble conversing with anyone besides Sidao. Overly curious, Sidao directly asked both Sayori and Minami if they had kissed before and found out that Sayori has yet to experience her first kiss. Upon hearing this, Sidao was overjoyed and immediately agreed, not wanting someone else to steal the opportunity. It's now or never, right? But at this moment, Sayori was too shy and hesitated about the kiss. Suddenly, someone opened the door and walked in, but upon seeing the couple inside, they immediately apologized and left. Inside, the two had their lips meet, and Sidao finally got his first kiss from his goddess. Both feeling bashful, they bid each other goodbye and left. At this point, Akami was texting non-stop, but Sidao wasn't replying, which upset her greatly. Just then, Zachi came and told her about the couple she saw in the room earlier. Coincidentally, Sidao texted her that he had just met with Sayori and was returning home. All these matching pieces made Akami so sad that she wouldn't leave the drink shop until 10 o'clock at night. The shop owner noticed her sadness and kindly added some extra ice cream to her drink. Such empathetic behavior made Akami think of Sidao, and she immediately returned home. Upon opening the door, seeing Sidao sound asleep on the chair, all her worries and sadness faded away. She tidied up the mess around and did what everyone else could see. Akami was upset because Sidao dared to have that mature experience with someone else, not her. She remained like this until the next morning, when Sidao woke up and saw this scene. Moreover, Akami referred to him as you, much like a wild animal let loose, leaving Sidao frozen for a few seconds as he reflected on last night's feelings and asked Akami again to make sure, "So, I'm not a virgin anymore?" Hearing this, Akami said, "You actually believed it was your first time?" Sidao was about to take responsibility for her when Akami revealed she was just joking. This greatly annoyed him. Akami then asked if he regretted it, and he indeed regretted it because he was still a virgin. This misunderstanding caused Akami to suffer from thinking that only Sayori deserved to take his first time. Thank you all for watching episode 3 with us. We greatly appreciate your support and interest. Don't forget to hit the share, subscribe, and like buttons to help us grow the channel even more. See you in episode 4 tomorrow. We will continue to bring you exciting and informative content. Thank you and have a fantastic day.